Okay, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good morning. How's everyone
Good
doing?
morning.
Great. That's better. I'd like to call to order the March 5th meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of my two colleagues. I'd like Doug Bauer to lead us in the pledge, please. Thank you. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Doug. Good job. All right. Good morning. I'd like to begin today by wishing everyone a happy Women's History Month. Yes, we can cheer for that. This is a national recognition observed each March. It's a great time to reflect on the long journey women in this country have taken to achieve equal rights, and a chance to reflect on the ways women have been empowered to become leaders and difference makers in our community today. This evening, we'll be hosting a special event just down the street at Theater Horizon. I'll be moderating a panel called Her Voice, Her Power. We'll get a chance to hear perspectives from some of the change-making women in Montgomery County. And we have well over 100 people that are scheduled to attend tonight, so I'm excited about that. And speaking of change-making women, I'm proud to take a moment today to recognize the many women in Montgomery County who are elected by their neighbors to serve as representatives. Many of them are here in the room today. Now, we know we have lots of women throughout Montgomery County who have been elected to serve on borough councils and school boards and as mayors. And so we just invited several to come here and be celebrated today. So is Jean Sword here? I see her in the back. My colleague and the newly re-elected mayor of Ambler, Saba Al-Zaid, president of Bridgeport Borough Council. Can you stand? Julie Munden? Munden, I said, okay, president of Souderton Borough Council. Good to see you. Susie Rastavong, did I say that correctly? Is Susie here? Okay, that's okay. All right. Lynn Vicio, Chair of Plymouth Township Council. Tanya Bamford, Chair of Montgomery Township Board of Supervisors. Heather Blumenthal, Mayor of Trapp Borough. Welcome, Heather. Kelly Stevens, Chair of Upper Providence Township Board of Supervisors. Roseanne Milazzo, President of West Norton Township Board of Supervisors. Now, I want everyone to know I invited every woman, mayor, and every woman that chairs the chairs their board on school board and in municipal boards. I just wanted everybody to know that. There's 33 in total. And I also want to acknowledge our jury commissioner, Mary Woods and Andrea Baptiste. They're here as well. Proud to serve with all of you. Each of you are here today representing the people of Montgomery County. You've shown how you can listen, show up, and advocate for your communities. Historically, we as women have not always had equal access to leadership spaces. I know, and my mother and grandmother knew, it's been a long, hard road for all of us. We juggle so many responsibilities, not only for our residents, but for our families, our children, our parents, as well as many unseen burdens and the mental load that so many women in society face. So I wanted to take a moment today to celebrate you and so many other women that are doing amazing things in Montgomery County. You and many colleagues who were not physically able to be here today, but I want to honor the work that you do is so valuable. Your work strengthens our communities and helps ensure that policies are shaped by diverse perspectives and lived experiences. So I want to invite all of you up to give a proclamation in your honor for Women's History Month. And where's Susie? Where's Susie? Let's give Susie a round of applause from Springfield Township. Okay, Carla, I'm sorry, President of Hatfield Township, and Stephanie. Stephanie's here. Sorry about that. Should we do it?
Do you want to do it in front?
Should we do it in the front? 2 lines in the front? In the front or in the back?
We can do one in the back and one in the front.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Good to see everybody.
I don't know, Megan's a challenge.
No, it's fine. This is fine. Will this look okay if we do it like this? Okay. Carla, sorry about that. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Your left? All right. So Mary, do you want to come over on this side? Is that fair?
This way?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2.
Great. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Okay. We're going to keep the meeting rolling. Next, I want to share that Montgomery County's drug court program has been officially certified by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. Let's give them a round of applause. This is a testament to our drug court team's excellence in protecting due process and offering our residents a meaningful second chance. Congratulations to Judge O'Neill and the entire drug court team for earning this certification. Our drug court programs offer nonviolent offenders who have a substance use disorder a chance at treatment rather than jail time. It's a program that we've seen reduce recidivism and improve lives in our county and across the entire country. We're proud to be leaders in fostering a criminal justice system that upholds the rule of law while offering pathways to healing and stability. So congratulations once again to our drug court team. Finally, before I turn it over to my colleague, I want to highlight an item on today's agenda that will come before this board for a vote. This is a resolution that will codify this board's stance around safeguarding constitutional rights, protecting public safety, and ensuring the proper use of county resources, especially in light of unconscionable actions by the federal government when it comes to civil immigration enforcement. We've seen the physical and mental harm that ICE has inflicted upon people in this country, from Portland and Minneapolis to right here in Montgomery County, in places like Norristown, Lower Marion, and Abington. Commissioner Makija and I have been vocal about this issue, and I appreciate him for his partnership. We've heard from neighbors, from advocates, and from family members who are scared to go about their daily lives. For months, our Office of Immigrant Affairs has met with advocates and our local law enforcement partners. Our goal is, and has been, to do everything within our power to make Montgomery County a place where people can feel safe. Now, we've seen the news that there are 2 ICE detention facilities being built within just a few hours of Montgomery County. We can guess what that means. We've seen the pattern. Let me be clear. The county does not have authority over the federal government's actions over civil immigration enforcement. And we still do not have the authority over the courts, other elected officials, municipalities, townships, or their law enforcement officers. That remains unchanged. But what has changed is the environment we're in. This resolution is something that has been in the works for weeks. We have taken steps over the last year. This resolution makes those actions explicit, permanent, and transparent. And it adds a new layer preventing an unwanted federal invasion on something that we can control. Our facilities are off limits. So this resolution remains consistent with our previous statements that we will not enter into a 287G agreement, which Commissioner McKeisha and I unequivocally stated last summer. And that our county employees are instructed not to share information with federal government unless required by law and accompanied by a signed judicial warrant. We do not consent and will not permit the use of any county-owned properties or resources for civil immigration enforcement without explicit permission. We don't consent to ICE using county parking lots, garages, or other spaces as a staging area, processing location, or operations base for the purpose of immigration enforcement will be prohibited. We know the county's limitations on immigration activities, and we have a deep concern about the impact of federal civil immigration enforcement actions, what that can have on our communities. We've seen it elsewhere, the violence, the fear, the separation of families. We want to make sure that here in Montgomery County, we're doing everything we can to make sure all of our residents can continue to access essential services and live their lives safely. Thank you. Turn it over to my colleague.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll just congratulate and thank all of the leaders who we just saw, the amazing women who are stepping up for their communities as mayors, as borough council presidents, serving in public office. Of course, starting with my colleague, Commissioner Jamila Winder, who's doing an incredible job, and I'm proud to work alongside on the issues that we do every day. So thank you to everyone who stepped up. It's really an honor to serve all of our residents together with you. I'll add to the comments on the resolution that we're considering today, which is incredibly important. And one of the ways I wanted to start is by saying this is not about a policy debate on immigration. This is about protecting constitutional rights and the rule of law for every resident of Montgomery County and for every American. What we've seen in recent weeks was unfathomable at another time. The idea that there would be 3,000 masked federal agents in an American city that has only 600 police officers is something that we should not accept as normal. This is not a normal law enforcement operation. And it's not just politicians that are recognizing this. This is not political. You can look at the rulings of judges across the country in multiple jurisdictions, judges appointed by Republican presidents or Democratic presidents. The chief judge in the District of Minnesota, Judge Patrick Schultz, estimated conservatively that ICE had violated 210 court orders in January alone, issued in 143 cases. Judge Mary McElroy, an appointee of President Trump in Rhode Island, said that the administration willfully violated the court's orders and willfully misrepresented facts to the court related to an ICE detainee. And right next door in New Jersey, Judge Christine O'Hearn, a district court judge, said that ICE blatantly disregarded the court's order, noting that it was not a misunderstanding or lack of clarity, it was knowing and purposeful. We are in a crisis right now as it pertains to the rule of law and our democratic system in this country. Our judicial system is trying to do what it's meant to do, which is protect our constitutional rights. And yet we continue to see an agency that is engaging in warrantless arrests, prolonged detention without due process, defying binding federal court orders, and all of that makes clear that it ceases to function as an agency enforcing the law, but instead is creating lawlessness. It's very important that we make clear in Montgomery County that we will not participate in that in any way, shape, or form. One of the things that I think is a turning point for all Americans was the death of Alex Preddy. And what was so important about that moment was the understanding that we would not have seen the truth of what happened had there not been residents in Minneapolis who recorded that incident. Because at the highest level of government, the President of the United States decided to lie about that. The Department of Homeland Security, the chief, called Alex Preddy, who's a VA nurse who's treated veterans, who was trying to help someone off the ground when he was attacked, an assassin, a domestic terrorist. All of that was slander because we saw the facts with our own eyes. And it's incredibly important that we recognize that if anything here happens in Montgomery County, we need to observe what is happening and we need to stand up for our residents and their rights. Because Alex Preddy should still be alive today. And what is happening with this administration needs to come to an end. Now, we know that this is going to happen at the ballot box, but we will use every legal tool at our disposal to ensure that residents of Montgomery County are safe from that encroachment on their lives, their livelihoods, and their constitutional rights. So the action we take today is important not just because of what happened in Minneapolis, but because of what Commissioner Winder recognized could happen more and more often in Montgomery County. The detention centers that are being established in Pennsylvania would be the largest prisons in the state. And they are attempting to use warehouses which are not meant for the essentially the storage of human beings, which is what this administration wants them to be. They're trying to house 7,500 people in Berks County and another 1,500 people in Berks County, 7,500 in Schuylkill County. When that happens, you will see a quota-driven incentive to violate constitutional rights and due process. And that will occur across Pennsylvania as a result. So we have to make sure that we will not participate in this, that we will not lend our resources towards this project. And I'm thankful that the governor has made clear that he will use every legal tool at his disposal to stop these detention facilities from being opened across the Commonwealth. And absolutely, we should do the same here in Montgomery County to ensure that none of our county properties or land are used for any such purpose. We'll have more to say. We'll hear from our sheriff and other leaders across the county that work every day to keep residents safe. And they do so in a way that respects constitutional rights, in a way that respects the dignity and worth of every human being in our county. And we're going to continue to do that because we know that public safety depends on trust in law enforcement, and that's first and foremost what we hope to accomplish in setting these policies at the local level. So with that, I want to turn to a different but very important and related issue, which is that there's some great work happening here locally to educate young people about civics and democracy and their participation on many of the issues that we care about. And right here at Ursinus College, we have students who are part of a project called Civic Spark, which is a policy and democracy hub. Civic Spark is a program that offers students hands-on experience with public policy, civics, and democratic institutions. And part of their learning this year, Civic Spark students will be working directly with our county's Office of Innovation, Strategy, and Performance, which is doing a fantastic job showing how we can best run local government and serve all of our residents. They're going to be working on projects that support innovative, data-driven local government, and it'll hopefully inspire them to get involved, maybe one day run for office, hopefully not while we're still here. But we're looking forward to having all the students here. Raise your hand if you're a student from Ursinus. Thank you for joining us. We're going to ask you to come up here in a second. We can take a photo. And I know Dr. Annie Careth Dr. Andy, thank you for bringing all the students here. Thank you for creating this immensely important project so that the next generation thinks about public service and how they can engage in public policy. So thank you for bringing all of them. So please join us in welcoming the team, and we'll take a photo with everyone from our science here. Thanks. Thanks. Just wanna, yeah, why don't you come back in?
All right, so we'll yeah, we can get you in the middle here, right, yep.
Here, somebody go on the other side. Yep. Come on over here. And maybe some of the tall folks could stand in the back. You and that. There you go.
There we go.
Squeeze in. That's just fine. Everybody can kind of shuffle in this way. Actually, yeah, kind of step forward, just a step. There we go. And then I would move everybody just take 2 steps this way.
Hi.
This is where my kindergarten teacher. Carry on.
All right, right here, folks. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Great, thank you. We'll see you after the board meeting, right? See you after the board meeting. Yep. Thank you. Got it?
All right, I have one other point, which is that I want to applaud Sam Applefield. Where's Sam? Sam here today? So he's not. So Sam, for those of you who know him, he is Montgomery County's Food Policy Program Coordinator. It's a great project, started with some of our ARPA funds. He is working across the board with everybody from food producers to the network of food pantries and those who are making sure no one in our county goes hungry. He's working across the board on our food systems to improve nutrition, reduce hunger, and support the economy here in the county. And he was just appointed to the governor's Food Policy Advisory Committee. So this is important because it just shows yet another way where Montgomery County is taking a role in leadership, and that's being recognized across the state. And Sam is now taking everything that he's learning through the county and bringing that to the Commonwealth. So just want to congratulate Sam, and I won't make a joke about his name, which I typically do, but there are some people who haven't heard it, so all right, I'll tell you about it later. Sam Apple, he runs the Food Policy Council. It's great. But congratulations, Sam. You're doing a great job. So with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Commissioner Bell.
All right, well, I too also want to congratulate all the women. I've said for years that I think all women are just amazing, and I think we should recognize them more than once a year. But and as Commissioner Matija mentioned, Commissioner Winders is here with us, and she's doing an awesome job, and it's a pleasure to work with her and the team every day. So she makes us proud here in Montgomery County as well.
Thank you for that.
So I see our sheriff is here today, and you must have came because you know I was going to mention this, right? About the sheriff's office tomorrow at 9 a.m. is participating or hosting a flag raising with the Scouting America as part of their Flags Across the Commonwealth initiative. They're doing this in each of the 67 counties across Pennsylvania as part of the America 250 celebration. So they'll be raising 3 American flags outside the courthouse here, which will then be donated to the Smithsonian, the National 9/11 Memorial, and the Scouting Museum. So it's always great to be out there supporting our scouts, and it's great to see our Sheriff's Department so involved in our community. So thank you for doing that, participating. Potts Grove Manor is going to be, speaking of America 250, Potts Grove Manor, which is on our historic sites, will launch a new Revolutionary War exhibit on Saturday. It's called The War Iron and Divided Loyalty, Struggles, and of a Revolutionary Generation. And it's focused on the 13 Potts children and their experiences during the Revolution. And of course, the Potts children and Potts family was settlers in Pottstown itself, hence the naming of Pottstown. The launch event is Saturday at 11 a.m. and we'll have presentations from historians with U.S. Army Center of the Military History. So check out Potts Grove Manor on Saturday, or any time really, if you haven't had the opportunity to get up there and see it. It's a great tour and a great destination to take in some really great history. Also on March 2nd, my colleagues and I participated in the annual Greater Valley Forge Transportation Management Association breakfast. It's a group of local transit advocates who host this meeting each year. It's a chance for us to lay out our priorities and updates around development, roads, bridges, and reducing congestion. Not that we see any congestion on 422, but we've been participating in the last couple of years, and we got a chance to hear their ideas, and we heard as well as from our state representatives, and we were on the three of us were on a panel board with our Chester County leadership. So it's great to hear what's happening here around Montgomery County, Chester County, as well as some of the things that are happening in Harrisburg related to transportation. We all agree that transportation in Montgomery County, or actually across the state, is needed. All communities thrive when we have good transportation, so we have to continue to do everything we can to promote solid public transportation throughout our areas. So that's a lot of what was discussed during the meeting, and I also gave updates as far as I'm on the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority, which is a tongue twister, and that's an initiative where we're looking to, as mentioned before, about bringing back the train that ran from Reading down to Philadelphia. So we're waiting to enter into phase 2, and we're going to hopefully be getting into that full boat within the next couple of months. Somebody sneezed, bless you. And then finally, I have the privilege this month to recognize our Way to Go winners. So, and I'm terrible at names, so I'm sure I'm going to mess a few of these up, so I apologize up front. So first up, from our district court clerk in District Court 38-122. I'm not sure which one that is, but Alexandra Munoz, not present today, but Alex is very driven and very eager to jump in and learn. She speaks Spanish fluently, which often comes in handy, and she brings one-of-a-kind sense of humor to the office that her co-workers love. So congratulations, Alex. Next, we have Bill Anastasio, inmate services caseworker in the corrections. His colleagues say Bill brings a consistent professionalism, empathy, and dedication to the jail environment, which is not always easy. He's calm under pressure, approachable, reliable, and overall understanding caseworker at our facility. So congratulations, Bill. And I believe Cantina Mayo is here. Is Cantina here?
Right.
Oh, there you go. Cantina is in our performance and planning specialist in our Office of Performance and Planning within HHS. Her colleagues say she is very versed in policies and laws regarding child welfare and always available to help with questions. She is truly a wonderful asset to the office and her staff. So again, congratulations and thank you. Next up, we have Brianna Capelli, an adult probation officer. Her colleagues say Brianna has managed a diverse caseload during her 5 years with the county. She is also generous with her time, volunteering at National Night Out as well as career fairs to inspire young minds in Monco. So congratulations, Brianna. And I believe, last but not least, is Ralph Siska, a security officer here. His colleagues say he's deserving of his recognition for many reasons. Ralph is a kind, attentive, and friendly to all who enter our buildings. He goes out of his way to be a team player, and you can always count on him to keep things running smoothly. So congratulations, Ralph, and I want to throw, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, throw out a huge thank you to all our this month's Way to Go winners, and thank you for everything that you're doing for Montgomery County.
Want to invite her up for the picture?
Yeah, you want to come up for take a quick picture?
Right in the middle.
Right here. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Is that it? Is that it? We good?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. Next up, we have a presentation given by Scott France on the 2026 implementation update for the Montgomery Monco 2040 comprehensive plan. Scott.
Thank you, and good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. Excited to be here. Every year we produce this report as part of the comprehensive planning effort. And this is probably the last one for Monco 2040, which was adopted back in 2015. As you'll hear, we're and hopefully know, we're currently working on finishing up Monco 2050, the next comprehensive plan for adoption later this year. So this report is really meant to highlight the many achievements that the county and its partners have accomplished in 2025, and also look ahead to what's happening in 2026. It's really organized around the 3 themes of the comprehensive plan, which are connected communities, sustainable places, and a vibrant economy. I want to make 2 points. These are not just planning, clearly not just the Planning Commission, as you'll see from some of the projects, but really involve all county departments and even some of our partnerships outside the county that are aiming to achieve the goals of the comprehensive plan. And then second, it's a long list. There's a couple of documents out on the table there. Commissioners have a copy, about 20 pages, and I know as I'm aging, the font size is probably just on the cusp of being a little small, but that's because there's so much we're proud of and want to draw attention to. What you're going to see today, just a small sample, but wanted to again highlight a lot of the wonderful things that are happening in Montgomery County. Next slide. And actually, we talked to this. Go ahead to the next slide, and we're going to make our camera people popular for the next 10 minutes. So connected communities. I think this speaks, the vision of this speaks to both the figurative sense of working with people, making collaboration and partnerships, and then the physical connections, where there's transportation options or connecting people to trails, greenways, parks, or downtowns, community destinations, or jobs. So within that, next slide. Some of the 2025 achievements are county collaborations. We like to start with the Monco 2040 grant program, which is an effort to engage with our municipal governments and find projects that they want to do that implement the county comprehensive plan. And it's a great way to see a lot of projects done for the residents that are specific to their needs in each community. So we had our 10th year complete last year, and actually are currently our 11th in 2026. Another huge event for 2025 was the groundbreaking on an emergency behavioral health center in King of Prussia. First of its kind, largest, I think, in the state, but 24/7 mental health crisis care for all residents of Montgomery County. Really can't overstate the importance and accomplishment with that. Health and Human Services partnerships. I could do this whole report on Health and Human Services. They do such amazing work and are our largest department with many divisions. Just a few things. They began work on a community health improvement plan last year. Tons of public feedback and surveys, as I saw come through our office, and looking forward to that finish. Invested $610,000 in mini grants to strengthen the food system. Some of the work we just talked about. $500,000 to the Nourish Monco Partnership through the work of the Food Policy Council, and distributed opioid settlement funds to 39 organizations to really help with that crisis as well. Next slide. On the transportation infrastructure side, we continue Ridge Pike. Anyone traveling through Norristown and Plymouth, don't need to call more attention to that, but we're well through it, and we're getting through it still a couple years in different phases, but we completed Section D, the furthest east section, halfway through Section B, and advancing A and C. On the website, you can actually find out what all those mean. But eventually, Ridge Pike will be completely updated and overhauled with connection to the Turnpike on a new interchange coming off Lafayette. We had 2 county bridges complete on Butler Pike and Easton Road. We're down to only 19 that left that are still in poor condition. This is from well over 70 to 80 when this effort first started and using the $5 fee. So great progress has been made in our Roads and Bridges Department. IIJA funds, we had $10 million procured to go toward the replacement of the Pottstown Washington Street Bridge, which is really a critical project to keep circulation and connect neighborhoods in Pottstown with the industrial employment district as well. On trail side of things, we enhanced the Pennypack Trail crossing in Lower Moreland to improve safety there. Began construction of the Trail Junction Center, which you see the picture there, which is here in Norristown at the old freight building. It's going to be a gateway to several of our regional trails, and also a gateway to downtown Norristown for trail users. And then we implemented new federal dollars into the design and engineering across the Cross County Trail, which will be the new spine of the trail system in Montgomery County, connecting all the way up to the Pennypack Trail towards Willow Grove, down to the Schuylkill and Chester Valley Trails, even outside the county to further destinations. So $40 million of federal funding over the next 8 years is already lined up to go with our capital plan, and that is just a huge both momentum and accomplishment to keep that going. Next slide, or that's the slide. Downtowns and community destinations. With ARPA funding, we had a multi-million-dollar project to continue the Norristown Community Facilities Project, inventory local assets, and actually starting construction and renovations at selected funded sites there. And moving, as I said, the new comprehensive plan closer to a final draft, along with municipal planning efforts. All our work on comprehensive plans locally, design projects, local zoning work continues to be a collaborative effort. And we did more school district enrollment studies in 2025, probably more than we should have, given capacity, but we got them done, and hopefully help those districts plan for the future and make wise decisions with land use of their facilities. Next slide. For 2026, this first one's the biggest one, I think. We're going to keep promoting those ongoing HHS partnerships to support health, vaccinations, and education, provide education on healthy foods and nutrition, local projects through the Monco 2040 program. Like I said, we're in the current 2026 cycle of that now, and we added a connection to housing supply to help find projects that help facilitate or mitigate some of the impacts of housing growth, which is important towards our housing attainability goals. On Ridge Pike, we have, again, continued construction there on sections A and B, and on the, again, continuing that work to strengthen downtown through our planning efforts on design, zoning, comp planning, and also using CDBG improvements or investments from the federal HUD program. Next slide. Moving to the second theme, sustainable places. We often think of this in terms of the environment and sustainability, and that it is definitely that. But it's also thinking about sustaining our neighborhoods and our communities and housing options. So a wide variety of goals across this section. We'll start with the next slide. And water quality stewardship. One of the big accomplishments was the Perkiomen flood and mapping study, which was completed last year and just released at the beginning of this year. 55 municipalities fall in this watershed, or it's actually a collection of smaller watersheds. And we now have an incredible amount of data and identification to identify where those biggest problem areas are, what the projects are that could help solve or mitigate some of the flooding we saw, especially still stemming from what we saw when Hurricane Ida came through in 2021. So incredible effort. Representative Webster got $1 million from the state to fund this project, and now we're ready to go with implementation and help our municipalities achieve these improvements. Wissahickon Water Quality Improvement Program, likewise, that's a smaller but still 13 municipalities collaborating, and that's in and of itself is an amazing thing, and also great to address the issue in a holistic way. On the open space side, we launched Montco Forever Green, the new grant program, and actually got 2 grants out the door before the end of the year, and have a number of others simmering right now that you'll be hearing about in the near future. We advanced the design and engineering for trailhead upgrades at Hawes and Chain Street. That's here in Norristown, and stems off of our trail access, diversity, and awareness plan to really look at our trails and how they serve local communities and disadvantaged communities, and making sure we're taking advantage of those opportunities with them. Our 200th farm was preserved back in December. Got it in right before the end of the year. Snow was falling. It was a perfect scenario. It was a Christmas tree farm in December. Couldn't have planned it better. A little bit cold, maybe that was, but it was December, hey. And then renewable energy, conservation, sustainability. We continue to work on the hydroelectric facility or getting the permitting for such on the Norristown Dam. Long-term project, but we, again, have the advantage of being the ability to get a FERC permit as a county government. And then we began a feasibility study for cogeneration, solar, geothermal options at Eagleville campus, and doing energy assessment of all our county facilities. Next slide. On the housing side, lots of news here. Again, real high profile and real exciting that we were able to get advancement on 3 new transitional housing facilities in Norristown, Lansdale, and Pottstown. We just saw Lansdale cut the ribbon a couple weeks ago, and the others are moving ahead as well. We held a groundbreaking for Ardmore House 2, adding 48 units to downtown Ardmore for affordable income housing for seniors. And if anyone knows Ardmore, housing is not inexpensive there. So really a tremendous achievement and able to use ARPA funds, local funds, and federal funds to accomplish that project. Continuing the whole home repairs program, which helps out a number of areas and looks at existing housing stock and keeping that strong, which is just as important and sometimes even better than building new supply, making sure we maintain our existing. On the healthy lifestyles, we continue the annual Trail Challenge, 10th anniversary last year, over 1,000 participants. The Food is Medicine pilot, integrating food health into hospital services, partnering with school districts to pilot a vape buyback program. On community characters, again, the CDBG funds and Montgomery 40 grants going for sidewalk improvements and improved curb cuts, stormwater management, ADA improvements, and the like. And our trails becoming safer. Not only are they great for recreation, but people are using them more and more to get around, to get to places they need, even in some cases commute to work. And having safety improvements on those and 911 dispatch able to reach people should anything happen or an accident or emergency result is just, again, good government and good action by our parks team and public safety. Next slide, 2026. Implementation, we're continuing the Trail Challenge, continue to support farmers through our educational events, our networking events, and the preservation program, which continues to grow. We support the housing needs of our county residents. You'll be hearing a lot about this year. The state plan just released, the county with its own housing blueprint, and the Planning Commission itself, we have a lot of products we're rolling out as well, talking about this issue, which is on a lot of people's minds as we struggle to make sure everyone has opportunity for housing throughout the county. Continuing county park improvements and upgrades while implementing our individual park master plans, ongoing health supports, and upgrades to our public safety facilities are on the docket. Vibrant economy, our next slide. This is our third and final theme. We're almost there. And, vibrant economy, I like this theme because it really encompasses a lot of things. There's transportation elements, obviously economic development, but so many things go into what allows us to prosper, and we want to identify and facilitate those. So major transportation projects, the SRPRA, as we like to say, is moving forward. We're just on the cusp of getting to task 2, but we did get to task 1 in 2025, so that is a good sign. And we also want to support SEPTA. That was a big issue this year, and unfortunately it will continue to be a big issue. We, I think, achieved the goals temporarily, but there's so much more we can do and so much more need on SEPTA because it's a key part of our economy and helping the workforce, helping residents, and it's a big part of Montgomery County. So we want to continue to work with the state officials to find better solutions towards permanent funding. Tourism growth, we are so lucky to have the Valley Forge Bureau of Convention and Tourism Bureau. They do such an amazing job that brought 7.7 million visitors to the county last year. We all know 2026 is probably going to blow our minds with the numbers, with everything happening in Montgomery County in the region for our 250th anniversary. And then in business employment growth, lots of things out of our Commerce Department here, but working with Norristown, specifically collaborating with the community college, the Monco Forward Loan Program, and I know they've expanded their ability to do site selection inquiries, and the super useful Careers of Tomorrow Expo, which has only kept growing and really provides opportunities for young people to look at what their future may hold, where they should maybe pursue their both education or vocational interests, and how there's real options in those arenas. So this is a great event that I think helps our young people tremendously. Next slide. This is the last of our bullets here. Improving for 2026, we're continuing to improve our transportation infrastructure. I want to highlight as part of the comprehensive plan process, we've been engaged with our municipalities for well over a year in identifying what are the needs that they have, what are, for the next 10 years, what are those projects that are really going to be most critical to keeping their transportation routes flowing on all levels, all modes. And so we've been compiling that. That'll be part of the comprehensive plan, and then update what projects we can advocate for, find funding for, and get through the federal process. We'll continue our SRPRA partnership and hopefully have a lot to do this year if we get into Task 2, and continue to, again, work with the Tourism and Convention Bureau to prepare for America 250, support our workforce development, and provide capacity building to the Norristown Chamber of Commerce and other downtown organizations. Next slide. So that's the end of the bullets. Just two other things are in this report at the end. This, again, goes back to the comp plan, and it's a little bit of a, checking in on how we're doing. This is a map that shows the growth of housing, and it is 2024. Unfortunately, there's been a little bit of delay onto when the data comes through, so our 2025 will be out later in spring. But looking back at what's most recent, this shows where developments come in with the magnitude based on the size of the dot. And those colors really are reflective of policy guidance that we hope to achieve. And essentially, we want housing and non-residential to come into areas that are ripe for growth, where we call them designated growth areas. It's either where development already exists and infrastructure already exists, or those places that are transition areas or on the cusp or next to those areas that are undeveloped. So the orange are the best ones where you want to see development come in. And then rural resource, we see some areas in the yellow, but we try to keep that limited to just over 5% of total units. We had a little more last in 2024, but it is looking better in 2025. We usually do meet that goal. On the non-residential side, next slide. These fewer dots, fewer projects, but these are the commercial, office, industrial, institutional. And again, by size, you see a lot located near highway access or road access, as well as some of our transit centers. As far as where the development came in, 92% of all development was in growth areas, so that's really good. And with the exception of actually a project to the expansion of the Elmwood Park Zoo, which shows up as a preserved area development, which you normally don't see, that was actually involved in a land swap to facilitate their expansion. So there was no net loss of preserved open space in achieving that. So even better than actually the data may look like. Overall, I just want to say we see more development happening in existing developed areas, which is good. That is a way to grow smartly, a way to find your opportunities where growth can be managed. And so the more we see of that, and right now it's about 50-50, and it's actually sometimes it's above that where we're seeing more in those existing developed areas. And that's a good thing policy-wise. And next slide. Won't go into these, but these are the transportation projects originally identified in 2015 and updated in 2020, and this shows progress. All those pink and blue are projects that have advanced. The blue are actually under construction or completed, with pink in design. So you can see a lot of our projects have moved. These were funded projects from the time, so we expected them to advance. If you go to the next slide, these are the vision projects. So these are the ones we didn't have funding for. We recognized as being worthwhile and needed for the county, but as with big projects like this, you never know what you can advance in the funding climate, what resources are available. But you can see a number of those, especially a lot of intersections, were advanced or are in progress or completed since 2015. So we're happy to see that and report back on that, and we'll be resetting all of this for 2050. That's the end of my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No, very thorough report, a lot going on.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything. Just one more step, continue making Montgomery County awesome.
There you go.
No, I'll just say this is a fantastic program. There's so many different things that we can do to improve livability throughout the county, and this is one of the great tools we have in working with municipalities making that happen. So thank you for everything you're doing.
And thank you for all your great work. I know we met a couple weeks ago to just talk about all the things that you all are implementing and carrying with small but mighty staff. So thank you for your leadership and your work. And yeah, we can make my eyes, I have 20/20 vision, so this font can be a little bigger, but I know there was a lot to put on each page. So-
All of this is online too, where you
Yeah,
can
okay,
zoom
there
in a
we go.
lot easier.
I'll
Yeah.
zoom in. So thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. All right, next up is our public comment section. This is for items on today's agenda that are up for pending vote. 3 minutes, and we will cut folks off at 3 minutes. So,
Sheriff Kilkenny?
maybe not our sheriff. You can have 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Hi, I'm Sheriff Kilkenny, Sean Kilkenny. I live in Jenkintown Borough. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, Commissioner Winder, Commissioner McKeesia. Thank you very much, Commissioner DeBella. Appreciate your remarks about tomorrow's ceremony. I have been in scouting my whole life. I was involved starting in Cub Scouts all the way up to Eagle Scout. So I'm very happy to be part of American 250 and be part of that program. And one of my daughters is very involved in Girl Scouts. So it's only been value added to my life. But the reason why I came today is in support of Resolution G1 on the agenda, the resolution to safeguard constitutional rights, protect public safety, and ensure the proper use of county resources. Commissioner McKeesia talked about the tragedies that happened in Minneapolis a couple weeks back. And because of that, it caused my office, as well as our district attorney and our county police chiefs, to issue a statement related to 287G. 287G is the ICE cooperation agreement that is voluntary, that local law enforcement agencies can enter into. My office has had the same position for 10 years since I've been sheriff. I'm in my 3rd term. And that's, we did not sign a 287G. And the reason why we didn't sign a 287G is that I was elected 3 times to keep Montgomery County safe. We have a lot to do in the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. We have to serve warrants. We have to protect everybody in the courthouse. We have a great bomb squad, and we're out in the community all the time. So our priorities are here, keeping Montgomery County residents safe. And we're an accredited law enforcement agency. I was lucky to come into an accredited law enforcement agency. We're the first sheriff's office in the Commonwealth to do so, and that was even before I was elected sheriff. But we've been reaccredited 3 times, right, since I've been sheriff. Where the state police chiefs can come ahead and look at our operations, look at our policies, make sure everything we're doing is right. So we're very, very fortunate to be reaccredited, have someone look under the hood, make sure we're doing everything right. And part of accreditation and building that trust in the community is some basic things. One is body cams. We were the first sheriff's office in the Commonwealth to do body cams. 2, there's been a lot of talk about ICE and masking and various security concerns. Well, we don't do that. We want our folks to know who we are. We want our folks to be out in the community, and we want our folks to be identified, because our sheriffs are the best. They are out there working hard in their communities. They're coaching athletics. They are participating in everything. And we are proud to be Montgomery County Sheriffs and do a hard and dangerous job, but be part of our communities. So in looking at this resolution and talking to the commissioners and staff about it, I applaud you. It's a very, very difficult time. And I wish I were not here today commenting on this, because interagency cooperation among law enforcement is crucial. We work with our local police, we work with our federal partners all the time. But as you have read in the papers, there's a great disparity in training between a Montgomery County deputy sheriff and an ICE agent at this point. Our deputy sheriffs, we talked about accreditations, go through 5 months of training in state college. You've seen ICE training is very abbreviated, about 6 weeks. So I hope there's another time when we're in a different national climate, when I can come to you and talk about cooperation we have with ICE and other agencies, but we're not at this point now. We will not sign a 287G, because, and I applaud the commissioner's actions, because what you're doing is helping keep Montgomery County residents safe, and all residents. We have 100,000 immigrants in our county, approximately. And many of them, I know for a fact, are scared. In fact, when I go to parades, I remember years ago, I'd be wearing my uniform at the St. Patrick's Day parade, and people would come up to me. Well, I now see people almost, at times, unfortunately, a little hesitant, especially when I do parades in our minority communities in Norristown and other places such as that. And I hope we can get past that, and we're in a different place as a country. But what I want to have happen is I want people to cooperate with law enforcement, to be calling us with tips, to be part of the communities, just like our deputies do every day, and that's why they're involved. So anything that severs that or causes distrust, I think, makes Montgomery County less safe. So I want to thank you for your time and for inviting me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you for that.
Joe Rooney.
Here, take a picture of that. Thanks.
Mr. Rooney.
Hi, Joe Rooney. I live in Abington. I guess this is a point counterpoint. So first off, God bless our troops. If you want to protect our constitutional rights, then we support our military and we support our ICE and Customs and Border Patrol agents and all law enforcement. Anybody here have kids in the military? Excellent. Thank you. God bless them. I do. And others have served, so God bless them. Second, it's Women's History Month. Real quick. God bless our mothers and wives. Young ladies, if you want to make a difference in life, be a mother and a wife. That's the only thing that really matters. That is what really matters in life. People can do anything. You can be the mayor of Ambler and nobody's going to remember you, but your kids and grandkids and great-grandkids will still remember you. It makes a great country. Now, this is Alicette Schubert. Please take a look at Alicette Schubert. Does anybody know who she is? It's Women's History Month. She has no more history. She was buried yesterday. She was murdered by Jose Luna in Montgomery County, Sheriff, a week ago. Who is Jose Luna? Luna he attempted to get out of the area on foot. This is from Dino Siliberti in the Patch. Court documents also reveal that Luna had an extensive criminal history, including arrests for robbery, burglary, and grand theft. He was also arrested numerous times for illegal entry into the United States. Hear that? Illegal entry into the United States and re-entry after deportation. Sheriff, I need you doing your job. We need to keep the next Alicette Schubert safe. The primary function of government is to keep our citizens safe. We failed Alicette. I have a beautiful little obituary here if anybody's interested. Nobody mentioned her today. Greg Scott, where's the candlelight vigil? St. John's, where's the candlelight vigil? Where are people? We heard Neil talk about that guy up in Minnesota. Well, I'm going to ask you, Neil, if you called the police, the sheriff, to your house, how many of them would you want them to come? One? I don't know what the 3,000 jobs were, but they were good jobs. They were doing an important job. They were keeping our country safe. I can't believe our sheriff is denigrating our law enforcement agents. It's unconscionable that he's doing that. These guys are trained. Everybody makes a mistake. I don't know. You want to know a couple of things? One, if you're an illegal alien, go home. If you invite a guest to your house and he stays in your house, he's not a guest anymore. He's a transient who's living in your house. He's a trespasser. If you want to stay out of these detention facilities, go home and enter our country legally. Please, there's a process to do it. Now, so what do we have? We have Alicette's dead. Nobody talks about her at all. Nobody remembers her. How about the next Alicette? How many Alicettes were saved by the actions of ICE and Customs and Border Patrol agents in Minnesota? We don't cover the thousands of people, illegal criminals.
Mr. Rooney.
Am I out of time?
Yeah, you're out of time.
I'll be
There's
back.
another comment
Want to
section.
hear any more? I'll be back. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Rooney.
That's
Next
all the
up.
public comment.
Is that it? Okay. All right, next up, approval of the minutes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the February 19th, 2026 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners meeting. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, resolution to safeguard constitutional rights, protect public safety, and ensure the proper use of county resources. We'll have our solicitor review that item.
morning, Chair Winder, Vice Chair McKeeja, and Commissioner DeBello. I'm Ben Fields, Solicitor in Montgomery County, and I want to thank you for the privilege of presenting to you the resolution to safeguard constitutional rights, protect public safety, and ensure proper use of county resources for consideration by the board today. The resolution reflects the county's commitment to the rule of law, equal protection under law, due process, constitutional protections that are accorded to all residents of Montgomery County. In light of federal court determinations that instances of civil immigration enforcement have been conducted in manners that violate the Constitution, federal law, and court orders, the resolution is focused on making clear that county property and resources, which are under the purview of the Board of Commissioners, shall not be used to assist in civil immigration enforcement to preserve our public trust and our efforts to make county resources available to all of Montgomery County's residents. To do this, the resolution does a few things. It permanently codifies the county's policy on interactions with federal immigration authorities. It states that the county will not enter into a 287G agreement. It makes clear the board's position that county property and resources be used only for purposes expressly authorized by the county and not be used to assist with civil immigration enforcement. And it authorizes the Department of Assets and Infrastructure to post signage reflecting this determination. Lastly, the resolution also makes clear that nothing in it requires violation of federal or state law. With that, I am happy to respond to any questions. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to get a motion on the table. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 1 as described by Ben Field. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner McKeeja. Any board comment?
I have just a couple comments. Thank you for the summary of the resolution. Couple things. One is that, as Commissioner McKeeja mentioned earlier, none of us want to see a loss of life in the United States. It's unfortunate, but loss of life impacts us all, including the recent loss of life of Stephanie Minter down in Virginia, who was stabbed to death by an illegal alien who came into this country and was arrested over 30 times and then was released and no prosecutions. So there's two sides to everything here in Montgomery County, and there are many people that oppose the current situation that's happening, and there are many people that are for it. So, and as county commissioners, we have the task of trying to do what's best for all 900,000 residents of Montgomery County, including the 100,000 immigrants that we refer to constantly here in Montgomery County. We all stand with them. I attend many events, and I hear time after time they do bring up about how they came into this country legally. And that's a very important aspect to remember, the 100,000 that we keep referring to. But I'm not going to make this any more political, because I think more importantly with this resolution, although there's many things in it that I wouldn't disagree with, but I didn't see this resolution until the first time yesterday afternoon around 4:17. I heard about this possible resolution for the first time on Tuesday and said it might be on the agenda. I didn't see it. I didn't get it. I got it last night. Actually, it came to my inbox around 4:17, but I didn't actually get time to review it until later in the evening. I didn't even have time to get it to who I trust as my private counsel to ensure that there's nothing in there that I need to be concerned with as a county commissioner. On top of it all, then when I came in this morning, there was a revised resolution that was sitting in my box and linked to the agenda for today's meeting. Then at 9:40, and I found out about 10 to 10, 9:50, that a new revised agenda that was a revision from that was linked in the agenda was submitted again with changes, and I was trying to read through them. So it kind of puts me in a position, and I've said this before, that I won't support resolutions or any agenda items that just appear. So like I said, there are things in the resolution that I would agree with. I would question if you came to us and want to talk about either signing or not signing 287, because I would say to you, well, how would that impact the sheriff's department with resources? That would be a legitimate question I would ask you. So there's things like I would agree with, or maybe there's things in there I disagree with. But there's parts of the resolution that I'm not sure why we would have a resolution that we're referring to what's happening in other counties. We're elected individuals for Montgomery County. If we were state level officials, then one could say, well, it's good to maybe reference things that are happening in other counties. Last time I checked, we don't have the authority to question constitutional actions by authorities outside of Montgomery County. And the other thing that really concerns me as well, there's a part of it that we haven't talked about that's in the resolution where we talk about we're going to put signs on our county buildings, which I think all our county buildings do have signs stating them as county facilities. And the idea is to let whoever know that these are county facilities and only county business will occur at the county facilities, which I don't have a problem with. That's what you would expect. But the bigger thing is that there's a point in the resolution where it talks about where if businesses want to come and get signs, similar type signs where, and I'm not really sure what the sign is going to say, but they can put those signs in their business stating what, I'm not really sure, because it has nothing to do with county business. But my concern is that majority of businesses, they just want to do business. They don't want to get caught up in politics. They don't take political positions. They're just there trying to, day in and day out, a lot of them are small business owners just trying to make a good living. And I'm concerned that there's these signs, whatever, again, I don't know what's going to say on them. I don't know what the purpose of it is, but the county's going to provide them for free to these businesses. And we all know that there's extreme activists out there, and there's on both sides of the fence, so I'm not taking this, again, this isn't political, but there's extreme activists out there. What I'm concerned is that people go out and start looking at, and we see it all the time, go out there and they start searching businesses that don't have a sign in their window. And then what's going to happen then? Is there doxing going to occur? Is there, protest outside of businesses? What's going to happen? We don't know. So I don't even know why that's in the resolution itself. I don't know why the county's providing signs to private businesses to stay. Again, I don't know what. So that's a big concern of mine as well. So again, obviously, I'm not going to support this resolution today, and I stated clearly why, and it has nothing to do with politics. I could be here for 20 minutes talking about from a political reason why there's things that I agree with and I don't agree with. Like all of us, we will stand with our elected officials, and there's times we disagree with our elected officials. I didn't agree the previous 4 years when millions of people came in our borders breaking the law. I didn't agree with that, but I didn't sit up here and talk about it day in and day out. So this resolution, I would have liked to have been able to provide comments, because I think that there's probably aspects of this resolution that we could put in place that I would agree with, that I think are valuable and warrant. But there's things in there that I don't agree with, and I can't support the resolution. So thank you.
Good? Okay. Any comments?
So, yeah, like I said in my original comments, this has nothing to do with immigration policy. This is about an agency that has killed American citizens. This is about an agency that has repeatedly, flagrantly violated the law, the Constitution, and direct court orders. And this is about Montgomery County's stand in not participating in those kinds of actions. So, anything that is being stated about, immigration outside of this is irrelevant. It's something that, can be debated in Congress. This is about our own desire to ensure that we're protecting the rights of our residents, all residents, regardless of any immigration status. We have a situation where we saw in the United States where individuals are asked what country they're from on the street by masked ICE agents. They're asked repeatedly, where are you from? Because they now have the ability to arrest people based on the language they speak or the mere indication that they weren't born in the United States. That is something that has never happened before in modern history in our country, and is something that we cannot participate in. So for that reason, I support every effort that we have in Montgomery County to ensure that we're protecting the constitutional rights of every resident, all 900,000 some residents of our county, because we should be able to walk down the street and not be asked for our papers. We should be able to exercise our rights, including the rights of children, to go to school. So we saw the recent ICE action in Norristown, or Lower Providence Township. 20 vehicles show up to get one 26-year-old. A woman is hit in the face with a weapon when they break through the door. Children are crying in the house. Some individuals are citizens in that scenario. They don't deserve to see this kind of environment and to live this way. The owner of a diner across the street told me and our Director of Immigrant Affairs that he usually sees 15 children walk out of the school bus every day. He hasn't seen any kids come out of that bus because they're not going to school anymore. And it is a constitutional right under the U.S. Supreme Court that no matter your citizenship status, you have a right to an education, because we don't want kids who are here to be losing out on their own education. It's bad for them, it's bad for their families, it's bad for society. And that in itself is an effect where we're seeing an erosion of that constitutional right because of the presence of ICE and the way that they've showed up in masks around the country and in a mass deployment as a military presence in Minneapolis, which could happen anywhere else because the agency continues to grow. It was allocated $180 billion, an amount of money that we know as local officials could be spent on mental health resources, could be spent on housing affordability, could be spent to provide universal pre-K or child care. It's an extraordinary waste of resources that is harming our communities, and we want no participation in that.
So
Oh, we're not going to get
No, no,
back and
I'm
forth.
gonna-
We're not
I'm
going to go
gonna
into a
talk
back and forth. I would prefer that we not get into a
It's not
back
gonna
and
be
forth.
back and forth.
Okay, well, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay.
If you let me,
Go ahead.
what I was gonna say was that I respect Commissioner McKeisha's opinions.
Thank you for that.
However, none of that has to do with this resolution. That was all political positioning. And it has nothing to do with anything that's in this resolution this morning that we're voting on.
So can I, okay, so I think, look, we all have our political affiliations. Sometimes our comments have a political slant. I think Commissioner Makija was talking about the human impact that ICE has had on communities across our country. What I will say is, we have been talking about this for well over a year. Like, this is not some newfound desire to think through how do we codify our position as a county to do what we can within our office to stand up to what we see in neighborhoods across Montgomery County relative to ICE. I think about early last year when ICE agents were on the top of a grocery store, a couple miles down the road from where I live, with long guns, doing immigration enforcement. And for me, it was never about my political position. It was about what was happening to my friends and neighbors in neighboring West Narton Township. I also think about the kids that are sitting in class with my son in elementary school. We were at a movie night last Friday, and the immigrant families that were there to watch migration, and seeing my son and my bonus daughter sit on the same blanket and be excited to just be with friends. That school didn't look like it does now when I was at Paul Fly Elementary School. So we, like, yes, we have our political affiliations, but we also know the difference between right and wrong, good and evil. And I have said this. My dad was the deputy warden at Greaterford. Like, I grew up in a family where we honored those that were in law enforcement, and I commend our sheriff for standing alongside us on that. And you do a fabulous job, and so do your officers. For me, this is about right and wrong and how do we treat each other as humans, right? And I am proud to support this resolution. We've taken a lot of care in thinking through how do we stand up in this moment. And I want to applaud, our team for getting us to this point. I know you all did a lot of work. And I want to thank Commissioner Makija for continuing to have the courage, along with me, to stand up for what we believe is the difference between right and wrong. So I'm going to move to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Next up, authorization to submit an application for an Institute of Museum and Library Services Museums for America grant. That was a mouthful. Jasmine Leatherby, Senior Grants and Development Manager. Come on up.
Good morning, everyone. So, the Grants Office, on behalf of Pennypacker, one of our historic sites, we are requesting to apply for a grant for the Museum for America. And this would benefit our Pennypacker site. What they're looking to fund is to hire a curator. And so what this curator will do, funding will support cataloging and digitalization of more than 11,000 letters written by Governor Pennypacker as a part of a larger 45,000 item historical collection. Many of these materials are not currently searchable, nor are they digitized, so this creates preservation risk and limits public access. In order for us to apply for this grant, it's a one-on-one match, so where we're requesting $173,216 from the grantor, we're also requesting that the commissioners support a match of $173,216 for us to apply. If we do get funded, we just want the commissioners to say that they'll support that.
Thank you, Jasmine. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2 as described by Ms. Jasmine Leatherberry. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, Commissioner's appointment to the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 3 as described in resolution G-3. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Now you have your full library board. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. Next up, personnel list. Going to give, who's doing that, by Megan? Okay.
Hey, good morning, Commissioners. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Commissioners Department personnel list. It's a 3-page document dated March 4th, 2026 with a timestamp of 9:41 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and are presented for your consideration.
Thank you. Motion to approve the March 5th, 2026 personnel presentation as given by Ms. Megan Brown. Is there a second?
Did you make a motion or you have?
I made a motion.
Okay.
Sorry, I made a motion.
Yeah, I didn't like.
No, that's okay.
That's all right. Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, advertisements of bids and RFPs, Montgomery County Exhibit A. Bless you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the advertisement of bids and RFPs for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit A. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Makija. Any board comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next up, awards of contract, Montgomery County, Exhibit B. I'd like to make a motion to approve the contracts, awards, amendments, and renewals for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit B. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, awards of contract, Southeast PA Regional Task Force, Exhibit C. I'd like to make a motion to approve the contracts, awards, amendments, and renewals for Southeast PA Regional Task Force on attached Exhibit C. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, general public comment.
I'm sorry, this is a little hard to read. Is it Trenton or Justin, maybe? Jay? It's Jay. It looks like Jay or a T. I'm sorry. From Limerick? First on the list? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you could state your name, I'm sorry.
Okay, Preston Gutweiler, Limerick Township. And I want to thank the commissioners today for passing this resolution to safeguard constitutional rights, protect public safety, and ensure the proper use of county resources. Thank you very much. Given what has been going on in our country, and particularly what happened, I guess, a little more than a month ago in Trooper, this is definitely needed. I think it's interesting that in speaking against this resolution, Mr. DeBella
Commissioner.
Commissioner DeBella mentioned that we should not be talking about things that are happening outside our jurisdiction. But he started off by mentioning the killing of Stephanie Minter, which certainly did not happen in Montgomery County. He should, as a businessman, well, and everybody should be concerned about the efficiency and competency of federal agents that come into our community. And I question the efficiency and competency of bringing 20 people to arrest one unarmed person and making a scene for almost the better part of a day, waiting for a judicial warrant to make this arrest of an unarmed person. This is not efficient enforcement of our in Minneapolis, those 3,000 officers claim to have resulted in the deportation, arrest, or confinement of about, I think they said 60,000 people. In all of Minnesota, there were only a couple 100,000 immigrants, as opposed, undocumented immigrants, as opposed to millions in Texas and Florida. How is this efficient? How is bringing an army to the Twin Cities and Minneapolis efficient immigration enforcement? Joe Rooney spoke earlier about Alcette Schubert. And I can't help but wonder if those 20 officers who were in Trooper to arrest one unarmed person had been doing their job with competence, might they have picked up, not our sheriff, but might they have picked up the person who was responsible for that murder?
You want me to answer?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Deb Hunsberger?
It's my first time. I'm a little nervous, but I'm
You'll
very
do
glad
great.
to be here. Thank you for passing the resolution. My concern is when undocumented people are being assaulted by ICE and they call 911 asking for help. What is the response that they're given? I know this is just my comments and that you don't reply, but I'm concerned with our undocumented everywhere, or people that have left their visas lapsed, or, taxpayers, people that are being scooped up. And we are leaving them high and dry when they're being taken, and they call 911, and 911, what's the response? So I would like that added when we move forward with this resolution, because around the country, they're not being given any, they're not protected. They're being left high and dry, and they're scared, and they're being taken. So I would like that addressed as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Nellie, if you could just get her information. I know we are doing a lot of work with our 911 call center and connecting with our police chiefs and such. You've done a lot of good work there, so maybe you can connect on that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, next up for
Jay Lee.
Good morning, commissioners. This is Jay Lee, and I'm a community organizer with Uri Center. Uri means we or us in Korean, and I'm here today seeing us in how Montgomery County is being led. First, I wanted to say thank you for taking this important step. Choosing to reject ICE contracts, keeping the county resources from being used for the unlawful operations is what we needed from these county leaders for this community. But let's be honest, this moment is a long time coming. We are here after hundreds of our neighbors, our shop owners, our parents, our children, Uri, have been taken from their home by ICE. For too long, the wait for this resolution felt like a green light for fear to grow. And today is a vital first step, but it is only the first step in winning back the trust between our local leaders and the community. So a resolution on paper is only as strong as the person wearing the badge. We know there are things local police can't control, but they can control how they choose to stand on people's side. So a police policy without a plan would be just a suggestion. So to make this real, I believe that this resolution can be revised to include some items. To name few, the section that specifies the content of the internal policy and codifying it. Section that address county's plans on handling the privacy data of residents, especially prohibiting the collection of immigration status related ones. And also a practical measure to ensure the signage on the county properties carry the authority to physically prevent the ICE from appropriating them. Because without the execution, it's a symbolic gesture. So we need you to be the champions for our community who are being scapegoated. And please, so speak up for those who cannot and lift up those at the bottom. Because when you lift from the bottom, everyone rises. That is how you stand on the right side of the history as true leaders of this challenging time. We will keep working with our local school districts, boroughs, and townships to make sure these protections aren't just a Norristown thing, but everywhere thing. We want to tell our children a story about the community that stood together. This resolution is that first chapter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Adelina Nippers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. I want to begin to thanking you for the thoughtful decision you made regarding the 287G. Your vote reflects the core values that have been long defined by Montgomery County. Respect the laws, commitment to the public safety, and protection to the rights of all residents. By adopting this resolution and choosing not to enter into the 287G agreement, the county has reaffirmed an important principle that local government must operate within its proper role while ensuring that every resident is treated with dignity and fairness under the law. The resolution also makes clear that the county property will not be used as a staging area, processing location, or operational base on federal immigration enforcement activities. This clarify matters to all our community. Local government works best when people trust it. Families must feel safe interacting with public institutions, reporting crimes, and seeking services and participating in community life, like you say. When we trust and we have that trust existing in our communities, we are stronger. Cooperation improves and public safety is enhanced for everyone. This decision sends a clear message that Montgomery County remains committed to the beginning of a place where the law is followed, rights are respected, and local institutions remain focused on servicing the people who live here. Montgomery County continues to be an extraordinary place to live and work, raise families, and contribute to the life of our communities. Today's actions helps ensurance that the remains is truth for all residents. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you for your comment.
Next up, Jen Coach. Jen?
Okay.
Joe Rooney.
Mr. Rooney, ready?
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, Joe Rooney, and I live in Abington. My goal today is to maybe get Neil Say, Alicette Schubert.
Let's call everybody Commissioner.
Commissioner.
Yeah, let's be.
Excuse me, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
thank you.
Commissioner, one of the commissioners, I'm sorry. I
Thank you.
apologize. Alicette Schubert, murdered in Montgomery County last week, buried yesterday. I'm saddened by that, and I would like to have gone to her funeral yesterday. Once again, the murderer was also arrested numerous times for illegal entry into the United States and re-entry after deportation. What does our Immigration Affairs Office do with a guy like Jose Luna? 287G makes Montgomery County residents less safe. Cooperation with ICE, cooperation with turning over illegal criminals to ICE in a controlled situation makes our entire community and ICE agents safe. The sheriff knows that. The fact that he didn't say it is shameful. His guys now know that the sheriff, given the circumstances, might throw them, other law enforcement agents, under the bus also. So I'm going to ask you all a question. A Montgomery County resident who's a Customs and Border Patrol agent or an ICE agent, is he welcome in this meeting? Is she welcome in this meeting? The answer should be yes.
Anyone's
The answer
welcome in
should
this
be
meeting.
yes. Can they sit in here in their uniform? If I was a Marine and I was in my uniform, I'd be welcome in this thing. Would an ICE agent be welcome? The answer should be yes. 287G tells them they're not. So I'm going to just, for everybody right here, you walked into this building and you went through security. You came up here and there's security in the building right now. The guys downstairs are Customs and Border Patrol. The guys up here are ICE. If there's a problem in this building, the commissioners want the people up here to take care of it. They want it stopped down there. They do a crucial job for our country, and we owe them a lot because of what they do. Now, you can cast aspersions, and the commissioners can use hyperbole, okay, and aggrandize and actually say factually incorrect things. But none of that saved, remember, Alicette Schubert. If everybody can remember her name, I would appreciate that, because she was murdered by an illegal alien who would be protected by 287G. So who are the other Alicette Schuberts that our commissioners are concerned about? Where are the names of the people who are alive today because of the courageous actions of our ICE agents and our Customs and Border Patrol? Make their lives safer. Make their families a little bit more secure. Make the people who are still alive today, unlike Alice at Schubert.
Mr. Rooney, your time's up.
Okay? Make them
Mr. Rooney, your time's
have
up.
full
Thank
rights.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Linda Weaver.
Linda Weaver, Limerick Township. I want to thank Commissioner Winder for starting today's meeting and memorializing Women's History Month. I'm the president of our church at Thomas Paine Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, located on 3424 Ridge Pike in Collegeville. And all this month, we're celebrating women. We're celebrating women and their accomplishments. So your words were welcome.
Thank you.
I want to share with you one woman who walked into our fellowship over a month ago, traumatized, severely traumatized, because she was the bus driver for the children who witnessed the raid that occurred 1.5 miles from our fellowship. And she was so traumatized, she needed to seek out a place of worship to deal with. So I think I've heard the comments about ICE, but I want to say this. As a woman, nothing is more terrifying to me than some strange man in a mask running up to me at an undisclosed location and not identifying themselves and supposedly performing their job. I don't understand how we can be for law and order and allow people who do not identify themselves, who wear masks when they are fulfilling their official job, how we can think that that is not about cruelty and inflicting terror, because that's exactly what it is for me as a woman. I don't know about other women in the room, I can't speak for that, but wow. You know, let's really make this about what it is. If it's about law and order, unmask the ICE agents, make them follow all the rules that Sheriff Kilkenny's law enforcement officers would have to follow, the Limerick Township Police would have to follow, make them get judicial warrants, don't make them sit there for 6 hours to obtain a warrant before they go into someone's home. Let's let them follow the law, and I want to thank you for passing the resolution that says everyone will be treated with dignity and respect. Because for me, as a woman of faith, it is about how we treat other human beings, whether they have arrived here the way my ancestors did or not. They're still human beings, and I think we need to keep that in perspective.
Thank you for your comment. Any closing commissioner comments?
Look, there's a couple of things. One, I just want to say, Commissioner DeVallo, you have different views. I don't cast aspersions or question your motives. I always find it funny when politicians accuse each other of being political, but I don't even do that. I don't even do that for you, right? So I think we should have substantive conversations at this boardroom. We should discuss the facts and our policy views, but there's no reason to question people's motives. The second thing is this has nothing to do with criminal procedure or process. We invest as a board substantially, significantly, perhaps more than ever before, I believe the CEO can confirm, in our criminal justice system, in our district attorney's office, in investigative resources, in ensuring that we keep people safe. And if there is a threat to the public, our DA has all the resources that they need to ensure that people are safe. And individual judges determine whether or not someone should be detained or not. And in the case I believe you're talking about, which I'm learning about now, that person is being held without bail in the prison. And that is governed by a set of policies by the prison and what happens in courtrooms. It has nothing to do with the action we're taking today. It has nothing to do with actions we've taken as commissioners. And everyone here should understand that our county apparatus works very hard to keep people safe, and there's nothing more political than to try to make people feel unsafe due to immigrants in this country. Because what ICE is doing is not about criminals. They, as we saw in Minneapolis, are largely arresting people who have no history of crime. And as we've said multiple times in this meeting, have taken actions that are at odds with our Constitution as it relates to U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens, including those who exercise their First Amendment rights and Second Amendment rights. We saw that the president implied that because Alex Preddy was holding a firearm, carrying a firearm, which was his Second Amendment constitutional right, that somehow would justify his killing. I'm standing up for his rights as well, right? And I would hope that those of you who believe in the Second Amendment would see that in addition. What ICE is doing is infringing on the constitutional rights of every American, of everyone who is in this country, right? And the steps we're taking is to ensure that residents know that we are not participating in that project.
Any closing comments?
No, I'm not going to keep playing into this.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. We made short work of this meeting. Again, thank you to my colleague for working with me on this resolution. I know it's been a long time coming. Also, I do want to give just a shout out, just in closing, to some of our women leaders that keep this board in order. So is Mira's here. Megan, our director of comms. Gab, Davey, our chief sustainability officer. Rhea, she keeps me straight. Stephanie, thank you for your leadership. Kim keeps him straight. Nellie, Jasmine, LaToya, Yvonne. Oh my gosh, I don't ever look that way. It's we come out here on, every other Thursday, but there's a lot of work that goes behind, the work that we do as a board. So I want to honor the badass women that I know are doing a lot to help us, but are also juggling a lot of things, as women often do at home. So I want to thank you for all of your support. And then I'll close with, and I probably should have opened with this, and let's make sure that we pray for our troops. We saw what happened on Saturday. I woke up at 5 a.m. to the news. I know we've lost lives in the conflict that's happening in the Middle East. I lost my sister-in-law at 23 years old, who served the Navy and served the Navy as an officer proudly, not in combat, but she died on the Red Sea. And so feel awful for the families that have loved ones that are currently deployed, and unfortunately the ones that have lost their lives. So let's close maybe with a moment of silence for those that we've lost, and pray for those that continue to serve our country. So we'll do a quick moment of silence. All right, thank you. Our next Board of Commissioners meeting is March 19th, 2026 at 10 a.m. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the March 5th, 2026 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next up, Salary Board. I'll invite our controller up. And then, is there any public comment for Salary Board?
No public comment.
Okay. I'd like to invite Megan back up to review the salary board presentation. Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, or members of the Salary Board. You shall have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It's a 4-page document dated March 4th, 2026, with a timestamp of 9:41 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and are presented for the Salary Board's consideration.
Great, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the March 5th, 2026 Salary Board presentation as given by Mrs. Megan Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Tony, stay here for a second. Any board comment?
I'll make
No?
a bold comment. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we have a position that we're upgrading in the district attorney's office, which is an important position, which I think is critical, which is the consumer protection attorney. There's a lot of work we can do, both civil and criminal, to protect the rights of consumers. We have another position that's been open for at least a year, if not a year and a half, in the solicitor's office, which is the affirmative litigation position. This is something that would allow the county to engage in proactive litigation like the opioid case or the Jewel case. It would bring back millions of dollars and be, well worth whatever the salary should be. I think, because Ben did have someone who applied, they ended up dropping. The salary is certainly too low. I would propose that we at least match the one that we're putting in the district attorney's office in that role. I don't know what it's at right now. But
It is grade 28.
it's great. It's
Grade
the same.
28 in county language. No, the district attorney's is grade 28.
Which one
The
is
current
yours?
posting for the solicitor's office is grade 24.
24. So I would just propose that we amend and make both of them the same grade because they're going to work together in the same unit.
Amend what?
I don't think it's written here, but amend amend the salary board to upgrade the position of senior assistant solicitor for affirmative litigation to grade 28.
Can we, I got the information. I know you emailed about it last night. I don't have any issues with that, but. can
So
talk about it
we
being
can, this does not neatly fit within emergency amendments under the Sunshine Law, so I would suggest we do that over the course towards the next salary board meeting, and if there is a decision to put it forward on salary board, we do it at that time.
Yeah, no, thank you for raising it. I saw it late last night, so happy to, work with the team on that. So we want to get the right people in the right roles. So fair point.
Yeah, I don't think I saw an email making a request, but I don't necessarily have an issue with it, but I appreciate the fact that you recognize that we can't just amend that by, with the way sunshine laws are.
So-
I think it would be kind of gray area, so
Good if we can.
So Meg, if you can just take that back as an action item, just
Yeah.
work with Ben on that, and we'll make sure that we do the proper upgrades as long as everybody, and the controller, of course, he's leaning back, I didn't see you there, get his support as well. All right, any other comment? All right, moving to a vote, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Before I adjourn the meeting, I wanted to give Tony a shout out for Women's History Month as well. You thought you were in trouble. You thought you were in trouble. It's because of yesterday. No, I'm kidding. I'll make a motion to adjourn the March 5th, 2026 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, everyone.